What's going on, folks? This your boy Crypto Crickets here, back with another video. It is Sunday and we are here to discuss about crypto, stocks, everything that gives us the opportunity to make money, of course. All right, now I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna add this instead. Okay. This one here. And so we're going to talk about if you're new, like, subscribe, comment. We will talk about how you can make extra money in this market without having to really having full access to this, right? Most cryptos space, you can stake. What happens? You get locked out, you can't sell, coins move, you lose profits, etc. There's a lot of crypto out there, of course, that they talk, right? And they talk, but they don't walk the walk. There's only particularly one in particular, which is Metallicus, that does that. And you can do a lot. And it doesn't require a lot of investment because the market cap is low. And it requires a little bit of money to invest to get a lot in return. But before we get to the show, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Crypto Crickets, also known as JoJo. I am a blue collar. Therefore, I work Mondays through Fridays, 40 to 50 hours. It all depends. Okay, and I do trade crypto, stocks, yield farm, liquidity pools, lend and borrow crypto. And with that, you know, when it comes to trading, I don't really sit on the computer 24/7, you know, scalping. Right? I'm not a day trader, so therefore I do like to spot and long-term invest. But I also like to show people in YouTube or any other space the opportunities that you can do with crypto and how you know, what are other ways to make a lot of money. Okay, so if you're new, like I said, like, follow, and comment. Also, for those who are new, I do have my Crypto Crickets merch. Right, the link is on the bio, which is Crypto Crickets. .biz. I sell lots of t-shirts there. They're my own design. Okay, and on top of that, summer garment wear as well. If you have a WebAuth wallet, right, then you know that if you buy any Crypto Crickets merchandise, you get airdrop 200 peg tokens manually to your wallet. Now let's start the show. Last week we talked about how, you know, and the week before, how XRP is the biggest crypto token that people have been convinced by major influencers. They tell you things like it's gonna go to the moon. It's, if you know, if I just have 1,000 XRPs, I'm gonna be super wealthy. Just wait for the Clarity Act. On and on and on and on and on. They do a lot of talking, but not enough walking. The only people that are doing all that walking are the people that get paid to have you buy this crap, but they don't show you the many possibilities and ways to how you can utilize your tokens. If you can lend and borrow, you can yield farm, you can do etc. You can do many things, right? They don't talk about those things because they don't have those platforms. They just have a lot of people and liquidity. Okay, Metallicus here, however, does offer that. Okay, but the question is, do you want true results, or do you want hopium where people just, you know, oh, just hold on to it, don't sell? Or would you want something like this platform here that delivers and basically says, okay, you can lend out those XRP coins and earn XRP and loan protocol tokens and build more in a bear market? That's the difference, right? And Many people would rather choose to say, nope, I'm going to hold on to it. Okay, well, let me tell you something. If you're not making money in a bear market, then you're not utilizing your crypto properly. Period. Now, I don't just do crypto, I do stocks as well. All right? I do like stocks and I do like precious metals. Anything that makes me money, I'm open ears. If it's not here to make me money, then I shouldn't be live streaming at all, right? So, Metallicus is the company that works with various layers. Layer 0, Layer 1, and Layer 2. Okay, WebAuth Wallet, which is also known as WebAuth Authorization, full word, is basically you can authorize your coins to yield farm, lend and borrow, right? But you do have to get KYC verified, even though it is a 100% decentralized finance network. The reason is for that is because you have full total control, and number two is to avoid scammers from having multiple wallets. That's what it's for. That's why we do KYC. It is also the only one that is a true ISO compliant, even though it's not fully certified yet. It falls into those categories because it gives true clarity, okay, transparency, and they focus mainly on the credit union banks, because when the banks fail in a terrible market, who are the first ones to go? The credit unions. Metallicus focuses only on the credit unions to give true empowerment, also to maintain an open market. We're a capitalist nation here in the United States, right? We like an open market. We like options. We don't like to rely on one big giant bank controls everything and it ruins everything, which is a good thing. Okay, so therefore it's also run by the XPR Network. Okay, and of course, if you have your WebAuth wallet, you can lend and borrow your tokens on the MetalX platform. Okay, you can yield farm, put them in liquidity pools. You can what else? You can stake them, short or long, doesn't matter, up to you, right? And they have a governance token as well, where people put proposals if they want changes on those, if they want to change on that platform. Now, with that being said, I don't know if XRP can compete. They can't, because they don't have this infrastructure. They just don't, right? They have the people, but they don't have the total infrastructure. So with that being said, we're going to get into it. Now, these are the things that you're seeing on YouTube, right? This is all I hear about. People talk about, get ready, it's almost there. You hear what they said, yada, yada. A lot of speculation, but no actual proof. None. Because if it was moving to $10 or $15, major players would be buying it, but they're not. The real players, right? The real major players, they're buying Bitcoin. I don't care if you don't like it. If you hate me, it doesn't matter. It is the only true commodity coin. Everything else is a security. Every single one of them. Because if there is an owner behind it, they can change the rules at any given moment. Right? They can change the rules. The rules can work against you, and you can be left with nothing. Right? Or you are not going to be able to be accessed to sell your coins when it starts to fall or when it starts to rise. Whatever the case may be. Right? That's what it is. Okay? And this is what it is. Expect triple digit, XRP, XLM. Don't know where it's at. I don't see any proof. Just what they say. But it's got over 27,000 views. Okay? We're in all in XRP. It's concluded. Bunch of bullshit. There's a reason why the Congress only passed a proposal bill for Bitcoin and not everything else, because Bitcoin is the only commodity that's not controlled by any company. It runs off of energy and computer systems. That's it. That's the difference. XRP Ripple is a company. Sorry, it's a security. They're flooding in, right? When you talk about somebody like him, like Larry Fink, right? He's a smart person. This is not a person you can play in full. You know, he will play you, but you can't play him. So don't get mistaken. Don't get misled by that. Selling XRP for Bitcoin for David Schwartz. David Schwartz announced that Swift is not going to be partnering up with Swift, right, to settle payments. And guess what happened? All of the XRP army maxis, right? They didn't believe it. They're still going to hold. Why? Because they're probably heavily invested into it, and they're waiting for the return on investments. They're waiting on profits, and that's really sad, because it's a lot of people, and they have over billions and billions of dollars that actually people utilize XRP for that, right? They buy them. Now, what can you do with it? Very simple. You can trade it. You can leverage trade it. Go up or go down. Doesn't matter. That's what it's good for. Okay. And that's the thing. If it's right, and that's the thing. That's what you see. Says goodbye to. It says here goodbye to my XRP plan has just changed. Goodbye XRP. Hello XLM. Again. XRP. Ripple, it's all fake, you must know. Right? It's the same thing over and over and over again. There's nothing new. And that's why I don't like to talk about it. I like to talk about XPR, the Metallicus ecosystem, what you can do. I'm talking about a walk-the-walk individual. Somebody will fucking deliver. And if I say I'm going to put $1,000 here on the MetalX platform using my WebAuth wallet, well, what can I do? Well, I can yield farm it, and I can lend and borrow, and I'm making something. XRP is not doing anything for you on that, right? And so therefore, I can run a node on there as well. Be a validator, right? That's the and you can build on the fucking platform, which is insane. But again, if you want to be misled, if you want me to tell you everything's going to be okay, hold on to it. I promise you. No, I don't fucking do that. I don't live in a delusional land. We are XPR holders and traders, and we utilize the entire network. And we get paid all the time. People who yield farm or lend and borrow, they make bank. XRP cannot do that. However, we did add XRP to the loan protocol, right? So that they have a leg to stand on. Because, again, Metallicus provides that. XRP does not provide that. They don't have the technology. Okay? And so therefore, you're going to see that. Okay, we're going to use the MetalX here for those who are new. Okay. This is what I'm talking about when I say that you can lend and borrow your tokens and make money, right, while you position yourself for a better play, right? Because right now we are at $1.34. We're in a bear market, right? We're still going down. Some very few coins and tokens are actually doing very well or performing, but it's very small, right? And you can see right here, you can lend your XRPs and earn a total of 0.03% XRP yearly, but you're also going to earn 0.23% loan protocol tokens, which is what we have, a loan protocol, and you can utilize it. You can swap it for USDC. You can add it in your liquidity yield farms. You can stake them, whatever you want to do. It gives you the opportunity. And last but not least, there are no lockups. Zero. You always have access to this. That's what's better with this platform compared to other platforms, even though their market cap is high and they have money, right? They may have money, but they don't have the simplicity of this technology. They don't have you don't have full access to this to your assets. Okay, there's no transparency, and it's not a fair market. That's why this is a gem, because you can utilize that and you can do many things with it. Now we got Bitcoin, of course. You earn almost 1%. right? In APY, but when you look at it, when I hover it, it says that you earn almost 0.71% of loan protocol, and you earn 0.28% Bitcoin. Okay, XLM, same thing. You earn a lot more loan protocol tokens, and then you earn 0.33% XLM. If you're not sure how the market's going, I don't know what to do, I want to make money, right? Well, we have the stable coin, which is USDC. The X that you see on there is basically for a bridge, cross bridge. That's what it means. Okay, and you earn 4.32% yearly on your USDC, which is really not bad at all. I like that. Okay. When you talk about these borrowing and you earn, let's say 5.63%, basically what it's saying is you're going to earn 6.35% loan protocol, not XRP loan protocol tokens, but you will accumulate accrued interest of 0.72%, which means you're gonna have to pay back 0.72% XRP. And the question is, by doing some basic math, do I want to do this? Is it worth it for me? Right? It's very simple. And again, you can definitely utilize this platform without any hassle. Okay. Again, I talk about this because I also want to make sure that people don't miss out on it, because when the market cap is low, this is where you can get those 5, 10, 15, 20x plays because of the prices that are extremely low, and what the entire platform offers, what you can do with it. Okay. So therefore, that's one thing. The other part is, because some of these actual, let's say the pools, right, the thumb on here where I have the moving image right here in the background for the camera, right, I got the Doge. The reason I'm actually doing Doge is because I would like to see Doge liquidity pool, right, go from $283 all the way up to, I don't know, 100,000. And all you have to do is put a liquidity pool, because Doge is very cheap right now. Very cheap. It's like what, 11 cents or probably less, maybe 10 cents. I don't know how much it costs, but I know it's not a lot. All right, and when I look at it, let's see where Doge is at. Where's that dog? Okay, that dog is at, yeah, it's at 10 cents, right? So if you were to put $50 of USDC and $50 worth of Doge into a liquidity pool, not only are you moving that liquidity, but you're also helping out the platform on the exchange that they have there. In other words, it's so that you can actually bring in more people, because you can lend and borrow Doge as well, and the returns are high. And that's the one thing that people don't understand. We work on true results. We don't work on hopium. We don't work on, oh, I gotta wait for daddy government to come in and help me out. You don't do that. The clarity, if you're not a bank, the Clarity Act doesn't really benefit much you. It only benefits fintechs and banks. If you're not one of those, you should not be worrying about the Clarity Act whatsoever. What you should be doing is investing your money, learning it how to make work for you. And what the fuck is up with this reggaeton music? Anyways, so therefore, that's what you should be doing. If you're not a fintech or a bank, an institution, this is the Clarity Act is meaningless. The only thing you need to know about the Clarity Act is what's a security, what's a commodity, and how much I'm going to pay in taxes for capital gains, right? Or taxable event on gains. That's it. That's all you have to do. But people are being misled by a narrative. We don't do narratives. We do results. That's it. We do walk the walk, not talk the talk. Okay? And the reason I say this, I want to see this Doge and USDC go higher so that it can bring new people, so that the slippage of trading, Doge costs lower, right? You earn based on the fees, people who utilize it. That's what it's for. But many people are waiting for somebody with a big pocket to come in and solve those problems. That's not how businesses work and platforms work. You have to put money into it. All right. The other part is farming. Okay. When you farm, you earn tokens or coins, right? In this case here, you earn up to 21% APR when you pair it up with metal and our stable coin. That's the beauty of it. Okay. And so if you're new to crypto and you want to be interested in this, and you want to learn about the DeFi, make sure you download the WebAuth wallet. Okay, it's for example, okay, the WebAuth wallet is okay. This is the WebAuth wallet. This is how it looks like right here. This is the WebAuth wallet. If you're new, download it on your phone. Okay, you're gonna have to fill out basic information, of course, but the great thing about it too is that once you get KYC verified, you just go to X, talk to Meta Client Services, tell them to speed up the process on the KYC verification, and you're good to go, right? Then you got to learn how to, if you're not new, of course, you're actually transfer your tokens there, or you can buy crypto through the Metal Pay app. They have an app where you can buy these coins, or if not, you can always just use USDC, transfer from Coinbase or Kraken to that platform using the correct network. Okay. And how do you do that? Well, you start off with a $5 or $3 to make sure that you test it and you receive it before you start doing some more into that. Okay. Now with the WebAuth wallet, what's good about it is that most wallets require you to put an address of like this fucking long, right? XYZ09FJ. I mean, just a fucking long ass address, right? It's annoying. With the WebAuth wallet, when you want to send crypto to another XPR WebAuth wallet, you just put at Crypto Crickets, right? And that individual will receive the crypto instantaneously. That is the difference. That's the reason why it's a little bit more modern, more simple, and more beneficial. But people don't want to do that. What people want is, no, I want to make money. Well, that's the problem. You don't know how to utilize the fucking blockchain, that you get your ass kicked because you don't know how to utilize it and you need money. I don't know about you, but bills come, they always show up every fucking month. I can't live without getting paid. You can't live without getting paid. So I'm asking you, do you want hopium or do you want results? That's the question. And Metallicus provides that. So if you don't have it, it's right there. Learn it. I do have other videos that I made on how you can actually do this, right? Learn the steps. I think you just have to find them, but they're there. Okay. Now that we covered all this, and we talked about XRP and their nonsense, I showed you just again for the third time going live that, how you can utilize it and profit from this, right? Put yourself in a good position, make money while the market's down and get ready to sell when you want to, right? That's the beauty of it. I like that. So we're done with that. Now we're going to focus on the charting part. The charts. Okay, we're going to look at everything. We're not just going to do, crypto. We're going to do stocks too, because stocks is important. Crypto is part of the NASDAQ, for those who don't understand. It follows the NASDAQ. All right, the NASDAQ seems to be doing pretty well. As you can see on the daily, it's still on an uptrend. That motherfucker is just ripping, right? And again, I'm a blue collar, right? I work all the time. I can't keep looking at it, but I can look at it from the daily, weekly, and monthly. And if I want to day trade and what do they call it? Um, and I'm scalping, right, on the daily, then that's a whole different time. That requires me a full-time attention on there, right? So it looks like we're still going up. We did a pullback, and it's still going higher. The very interesting part will be if the Nasdaq outperforms Bitcoin. If it does, holy shit, you are in for a big surprise. Big surprise. It can be good, it can be bad. Now, as you can see, the Nasdaq has been going up, 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 up. It hasn't done a recovery. Okay, it hasn't pulled back, right? What it needs to do, the full area that it needs to come back down to is 26,000. I don't recommend playing it right now unless you're scalping it and you're on it on the hourly, 30, and the 5-minute. Okay, but it's still on an uptrend. Okay, now we're gonna go with Apple. Apple seems to be doing well because it's part of the tech industry, and as you can see, it's performing well. Again, would I invest into it? Probably not, because it's been running for so long. All right, oh, there it is. Yeah, it's overextended when I look at these indicators in here on the very top. So I'd be very careful when the pullback comes in. All right, if it holds, great, then you can keep going. But there's a lot of money flowing in, as you can see here. Okay, and so therefore, I'd be very careful, because it may come back down to like 281, maybe 288, and then probably swing higher. That's what it can probably do. Okay, the next part will be Tesla. Tesla seems to be doing pretty well as well. It made a recovery. It sold, it went down from 500 all the way back down to 338, and it made a recovery all the way up to about what, 453. So it's almost like, you know, it's like an 80% maybe, which is a good thing, right? But again, it can come back down here, close up these areas here around 402, and then go up, but it's still on an uptrend. And I'm looking, this is based on the weekly. Okay, I don't have time to be, you know, trading it all day, but I can keep an eye and give myself an idea where I think it's going. The next part will be Nvidia and AMD. AMD is a fucking killer. It is a killer. Where'd I go? Oh. Yeah, AMD is a banger. I mean, look at this thing. Look at that chart. That thing is on steroids, man. I don't know how high it's going to go, but I know it's got to come back down to 300 to 280 area, right? Those would be my re-entry points if it does come back down. And I want to see that because I want to get an in on it. AMD, including NVIDIA, which is great for those CPUs and card presses and the RAMs. It's gotten expensive. All right, it's just gotten expensive. It's a good thing I got a badass computer last year, because boy, oh boy, trying to get one now, owning a computer is a luxury. Okay. And as you can see, it's still on an uptrend. My God. Let's see how the daily looks like on this. Okay, it did a pullback here, but look at all these gaps here. These are gaps that they got to come back and close. And it's got to come back down. Now, is it going to come anytime soon? I don't know. But I do know that if it does come back down to these areas, I'm going to be buying a lot. That's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy. I'm in here to make money just like you are. Okay, same thing for NVIDIA. NVIDIA, it did a recovery, came back, right? Boom. Looks like it's trying to close this area here, but it may, if it doesn't hold, it'll come back, retest 200, or 194 in that area before it swings up higher. Okay, now we're gonna go with the precious metals, of course, that everybody likes. I like silver and I like copper. As you can see, copper is got a new support area of 72, 73, right? But it looks like it's deciding if it wants to go lower, right? If it wants to come back lower, because when you look at it on the weekly and the monthly, it still requires to come back down and close those areas. Right, as you can see, it's swinging up, right? But now it's flirting with this area here on the EMA crosses. It's already touched the it's touched, what is it? It's touched the 25, right? And so therefore it's touching it. If it keeps doing that again, it's probably going to come back down and touch the next one. And if it does that and it holds somewhere around here, 56, 50 bucks would be all the way up to like 50, right? Would be a good entry point for silver before it swings higher. But it won't happen anytime soon, so they're gonna probably milk this. This looks like a round. Yep, that's a round. It's starting to look like a descending scallop right here. It just goes on and comes back down and then probably swings higher, which I would like to see that. Copper is another one. Copper is probably going to start to have its own run, because now that silver's done, from what I think, right, because nobody knows, I think it's going to actually perform well. The weekly looks like it's still on an uptrend, right? Let's see how the monthly looks like on this. Right, it still shows that it's on an uptrend here. It may have to come back down and retest like $5.25, or retest somewhere this area of 476. Will it happen anytime soon? I have no idea. That's why you have to keep an eye on it. But when I look at these the volume, there's a lot of volume, so I don't expect to see this come down anytime slower. Once the volume starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller, that's when actually it starts to have that reversal pattern. So keeping an eye on the volume is essential, right? When there's a lot of selling. Let's see how the RSI looks like. It still hasn't been fully overextended, right? So it may go up higher, like I said, before it pulls back. Yeah, the RSI doesn't look like it's just still fully extended. It can go higher, and it's probably going to do that. Now, for the crypto enthusiasts, we're going to go into Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks like it's deciding if it wants to come back down into more of a downtrend. This is the monthly chart. Okay. It still has to hit maybe like 87-ish, or I would say more like, yeah, like 90,000, and then start coming back down. Or chances, yeah, you can see that the selling pressure was high here on the volume, and the buying, and now you're seeing a selling again. Okay, and this is for the monthly. Yep, and as you can see, there's a lot of selling, very little buying. There's some, but not a lot, to keep it going up. So chances are we're probably going to start going lower again with Bitcoin. But I'd be very careful. Ethereum has been not performing too well. I still think it's on a downtrend. As you can see, those EMA crosses across, and it's flirting down in this area in these long ranges of the EMA crosses. So chances are it's gonna probably come lower. I want to see how the monthly looks like for this. Yeah, it looks like it's probably gonna come back down. Yeah, 26 or something. I mean, there's a nasty wick right here down to like 1400. So will it come back down there again anytime soon? I don't know. But what it probably will hit, maybe it will probably hit 1640. That would be my entry point if I'm spot trading. If I'm leverage trading, I'd be very careful with that. But I would normally start buying here if it comes back down to that area. Solana has not been performing well. It has looked like shit recently. Look at this thing. Nothing but sell, 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 sell. No buys. No buys yet. And right now, Solana they need a pump. They need to raise it up all the way to about $125, $120. And I will sell my Solana, right? Get this thing back down to lower prices, anywhere between, I would say about what, 40, 50? Anywhere between this area here, between 47 and 37. That's when I'll be buying a shitload of Solana. The one that is performing really well, that's built on the network of Solana, is OR. Look at that. That thing got a very short, chart, but OR has been around for a while. It's just this actual chart, not so much. But when I look at the weekly, like, oh my god, that motherfucker looks like it's ready to go, man. The 355, shit. If it can break easily, 207, get past 286 and hit maybe about 350, I'd be selling those ores and probably trying to get back, try buy back at the bottom, because this chart looks good. It looks good. And that's one thing I don't talk about ore, because people just don't want to fucking listen. The reason is because ore is like the new modern gambling. There's a gap right here. You see that? That's what I'm looking for. It's that gap. If it can close this gap right here, then it's good. Then that means, okay, if it hits 380 something, and if it can come back lower, that'd be nice. But boy, oh boy, I'll be in profits. Profits. Now for the XPR, Metallicus, or Metalcoin and MetalDAO, let's see how they're looking like. Okay, XPR for the daily, it looks like it's trying to decide if it's going to go up or it's going to come back down, right? But then when we look at these EMA crosses, the long indicators, it shows that we are still, yeah, it's literally right there on the RSI crossing, right? It's definitely not overextended, so we're probably going to go lower. It's got a volume, some deep volume has to come in. Yeah, this looks like it's gonna come back down. It's still on a downtrend, so I can definitely buy some more XPR down about 2.0, or if it retests that area, that neckline of 1328, I'll be buying a ton of that, but I'd be very careful with that. The daily is a big factor, of course. And again, those EMA crosses, right, on the long time frame, which is, what is it, the 300 to 440, it's telling me that we're still in a downtrend. It hasn't really crossed yet to where we're gonna go up, unless we go to the weekly. Let's see. Yeah, that thing is like, it's got a mountain to climb, right? It's got a mountain to climb. I mean, I would definitely love to see XPR hit somewhere around 0.005, maybe to 0.058, and then sell. I can do that, take profits. Right, the volume is not that big. It's just like, it's almost kind of stagnant, trying to hold on. MetalDAO, the governance token, looks like it's still on a downtrend, but it's starting to touch those those short time frames where we might get like a little bit of a pump if it does well, so that it can start performing better. Let's see. This is the weekly. It's still struggling. Let's see the daily. Yeah, the daily is right there. So we get on the daily, you can see that we were on a downtrend. Now it's flirting with all these areas, so we might actually get a reversal and start to get a pump on here. Yeah. Okay, there was a big buy and then sell. Now you can see a little bit of volume here. It's starting to grow a little bit. If they can keep that up, that's nice. And then last but not least, Metal Coin. Metal Coin looks like it's also trying to decide. There was a big downtrend, as you can see. The long range of the EMA crosses looks like they're starting ready to getting real tight. Possibly this might be a chance where they might cross and go up for a high. All right, going up to an uptrend, or they just might kind of bring it back down here to this area of 11 cents, 12 cents one more time, retest it, and then go up higher. And that can take up to, I don't know, somewhere to the end of June, right? Bring it all back down. And then after June and July, swing this thing higher for the fences, which kind of really, you know, sits in line right before the midterms. Yeah, kind of interesting, isn't it? All this is working out. Now, we talked already about that. If you do like the XPR network and you want to see that you can also launch your own meme coins and tokens, you can do that. There are some that are performing well that have some use case. A lot of them don't. They're just a meme platform. But because of the fact it's part of the XPR network, it doesn't cost a lot to launch your own token, and number two, because XPR is low, right? We noticed that if XPR goes for a run, these meme coins going for a run. When we saw XPR going, started pumping, we saw those meme coins started running up as well. That's what's insane. And so that's what I was saying earlier. If you're in early in these projects, right? Because XPR has been around for about a few years now. But the problem is it doesn't get a lot of publicity, right? Marsha Hayner is not Brad Garlinghouse and David Schwartz and trying to sell you everything. The SEC is out to get us and using narratives. No. This is true crypto, true trading. That's the difference. That's why you don't see a big run. However, I will say that it will make, and it can make, big returns than XRP because the supply is at 30 billion coins, which is 1/3 of XRP's total supply, and it can outperform it if many people adopt it and they start utilizing the platform and they buy. That's how you can make a lot. But of course, if you don't want to, that's fine. Even those small ones are great because they get a lot of return on my investments. And like I said, if it doesn't run this season, this year, that's fine. I can accumulate more and I can still make money in a bear market. Can't do that with XRP. So today it's going to be a short day on this live for Sunday. Again, I do have my Crypto Crickets merch now on my own website. Okay, so if you type in, or you can definitely check the link in my bio, which is cryptocrickets.biz. If you buy a Crypto Crickets t-shirt, whatever's there, you get 200 peg tokens airdropped to your WebAuth wallet if you have that. What's the purpose? For staking, liquidity pools, hold, buy more, that kind of situation. That's what it's for. It's to not only just help my brand, but to help the platform and everything that it's involved in it, what you can do with it. But with that, I hope you guys enjoy the live stream. As I said before, I keep it very simple, very realistic. I don't want to see people lose money. Okay, I don't want to see you get financially wrecked. And so therefore, that's why I do these live streams. And also it's because XPR is a true it's a true asset. And I don't want to see people, miss out on it because, it's at the very bottom, it's still early, and then you can actually make more money off of that. So if you're new, like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think. And of course, we will be back next Saturday. I do this every Saturday mornings between 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. for about an hour and a half. Okay, we go through everything, and whether it's stocks or crypto on the charts, and see how you can stay in profit. One thing I don't do is I talk about politics, I talk about any of that crap, because it doesn't do anything. I'm not a politician. Many people are not politicians. I'm here to only to make money, to show you opportunities how to make money. And if you're not in this space to make money, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your time. Because money pays my bills and it allows me to go to places that I want to do. Okay, but with that, everybody, enjoy your Sunday. Peace. I'll see you next Saturday.